The Tesla Model 3 gets over-the-air system updates quite frequently, so it's a good idea to have a strong Wi-Fi signal available for the car. I ordered this TP-Link RE450 Wi-Fi extender from Amazon as seen here. I'll have the link in the video description. Since my detached garage has finished construction recently, I needed to expand my Wi-Fi range. There are a few different ways of getting better Wi-Fi coverage in your home. There are mesh networks, Wi-Fi access points, and Wi-Fi extenders. All three methods help fix dead zones. Each has its pros and cons. I chose an extender due to the layout of my house and the detached garage location. In my house, I use an 802.11 AC router, which supports up to 1300 megabits per second over 5 gigahertz and 600 megabits per second over 2.4 gigahertz bands. This extender closely matches that spec and for a reasonable price. I use a few TP-Link devices in my network, and I think they are a good network brand. I recommend getting an extender that works well with your network. Don't get one that's faster than your router since you're just wasting money for no additional performance. So now let's unbox this device. After taking the protective plastic off of the front, I'll show you the sides. The antennas flip up on either side, and the third one pushes up in the back. There are 4 main lights on this unit. On the bottom is the power indicator, then the 5 gigahertz band, and then the 2.4 gigahertz band. The round light near the top is the signal strength indicator. It will be blue if the signal is good, and it will flash red if the signal is weak. If you see red, try relocating the extender to a better location. If you already have a mesh router set up, by all means get another one to your network to expand coverage. If you have a wired LAN connection in your garage, I would suggest adding an access point since they work better with less overhead than an extender. This device will act as an access point or extender depending on how you set it up. Let's install this extender using my laptop. There is also a Tether app for smartphones for installation. The extender has default names of TP-Link Extender 2.4 gigahertz and TP-Link Extender 5 gigahertz. During the setup process, you can rename these to whatever you want. These arrows point at the 2 different extender bands. I clicked on the 2.4 gigahertz option to begin the setup process. Type in a random password of your choosing, and then, again, to confirm. At this point, it saves your password, and then goes on to the next process. It begins to scan your current Wi-Fi setup and lets you choose which one to use as the base for the extender. For example, I have a router and an access point in the house. I'm going to choose the one that is closest to my detached garage. Type in the password for the host Wi-Fi. And this is where you can name each of the Wi-Fi bands a name that you desire. Click Next to continue the setup. And now click Save. The software will now apply these settings to the hardware. And now it is done. So we will connect to one of these new extenders and see how it works. It takes a few seconds for them to show up on the Wi-Fi list. The arrows show the new devices. Type in the password and log in. It is now connected, and you can click on Finish. Now I can log into the extender. If I want to change any other settings, I'll show you what that looks like. This page is a summary page, and you can see the router and the extender and the components that attach to it. You can also, in this area, change the names. On the device, you can see the power light on, as well as the 5 GHz and 2.4 GHz lights. It is designed to be plugged into a wall outlet in a location halfway to a quarter the way from the main router. You don't want it too far away since it makes it less effective. In my situation with a detached garage, I could not get a halfway point to the main router, so I'm a little bit at a disadvantage. First, the power light turns on and blinks during the setup process. Now we see the 2.4 GHz band is active. And then finally the 5 GHz band is now active. Let's see how the results are from the speed test. Before I installed the extender, I was usually getting 1 to 2 bars out of 4 on my phone and the Model 3. So this area definitely needed an improvement in Wi-Fi strength. Here you can see the extension has 4 bars out of 4. And when you access it for the first time, you need to enter the password. And here I'll type in the password. And here we can see the car is now trying to connect with the new extender. And the check mark shows that it has connected. Let's do some speed tests on the internet. And the results are 12.57 download and 15.66 upload. And I'll run it again on another speed test. This shows slightly slower at 11. Now I'm going to compare it to the original speeds I was getting on my router. I'll press this button to retest it. And you can see the extender got roughly 11 megabits per second and the original was roughly 7 megabits per second. More important than speed is the strength of the signal so that you can have an error-free connection with no dropouts when you're doing updates. And that about wraps it up. You can do the same tests using the 5 GHz band. It will be faster. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.